won't you say my.
So that I that she just hit, that
The singer's eyes, the singer's only. Singer's eyes, the singer's only.
Hey, you guys, it's Kristal Cherelle from Indie Artist School. Welcome to the Singer's Arsenal. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is how to sing R&B riffs and runs. But this time, we're going to learn about how Summer Walker sings them and some exercises that you can do to help improve your agility, as well as break down some interesting moments. So it depends on what time you're actually watching this video. At the time of this release, Clear 2 Soft Life, the EP, has not come out yet. So I'm flying blind. I really do like to cover artists when their music first drops, but I want to kind of prep your ear and prep your voice for what may be to come. She has several albums in the course of her career so far, so there are some things that just don't change, okay? She's still got her own vocal style. I'm going to refer to her live performance that she did on NPR. She did Playing Games live for the first time. She did the NPR performance before she dropped the albums. I'm going to be reacting and also breaking down pieces of that live performance. The reason why I wanted to do a live performance is because as artists and singers, you get to hear a lot more of the artist's true natural voice when they're performing live versus a recorded, edited track and all of that. I'm not knocking all of the beauty that is audio engineering, but from the standpoint of training your ear and working on singing runs in the style of an artist, it's really nice to hear how they sing them naturally, unfiltered. Before I pull up this track, one of the things about Summer Walker is she's been very open about her anxiety and how that has played a role in her live performances, which I think is also a really important point to talk about because I think that's totally relatable, okay? As if you're an artist yourself or aspiring to be, you might find that you have some nerves or that the idea of singing in front of people absolutely terrifies you. So just let her be an inspiration to you, letting you know that, hey, if she can do it, honey, then I can too. So let's pull it up, okay?
All I ever asked was you to show me some love. No, I never had an issue. Go to the club with your boys, baby. I ain't never wanted you to stay. Just wanted you to show me up. So won't you say my name, say my name. If you claim you want me, ain't no that, and you acting kinda shady. Ain't been calling me baby, yeah. Boy, you can go stop playing games, playing games.
Let's listen to this run right here.
Games, playing games.
One thing that she does that I think is really cool and is really common in R&B is she integrated trills with her vocal run. This is a really simple run right now. So she's bouncing between two notes. Only 3 notes are involved, and she's oscillating between the first 2 in the beginning. So this is a very nice example of a simple run. Adding a trill on one of the notes just really adds interest. It adds a little flourish, a little pizzazz, a little extra. So on that first note, a trill is when you're oscillating by a semitone. So it's really close. You're just bouncing up, and you just move really quickly. It takes some getting used to be able to do that and stay on pitch in your original note. So let's try a couple of these oscillations here. Try this a couple times. You could even start slow. Come back down. And then gradually increase it. All right? And you can oscillate this even quicker by moving the back of your tongue really quickly, okay? Nothing drastic, it's really subtle. Okay? Then once you have that, drop that next note, add that next note in there. All right? So now that you got those 2 notes, we're gonna go back up to the original note we started with. Try this a couple times. Gay. Did you get it? If you got it, then good. But if not, you can go ahead and rewind this to try this a couple times. And then you just end it with that nice little cherry on top. Try those two notes separately. Once you've got those, then you can put them back together with the end of the trill you just ended on. So gay, and you could put it all together. It does take some getting used to, but that's one thing that she does. One little nice trick is she utilizes trills in her riffs. So let's see what else she's doing.
I know you say you hit my line, you on my mind, and that you want this bad, so I'm cool with that. I'm just trying to match your words with your actions. I need more than satisfaction. Is you really about that action? Say you wanna be more complex in front of your friends. How that work? Claim that you're doing the most. We take a picture, can't post it. What you talking? Back that shit up. Won't you say my, say my.
So that I that she just hit, that right there is a different way of doing a run. She didn't have a trill in there. It's possible, depending on your range, that low note may be hard for you, but maybe not. Just give it a try. So we're going to break that down a little bit. I'm going to rewind a little bit so we could hear the context of this whole run. So here we go.
Won't you say my, say my.
My eyes. So we're going to try this in pieces again. You're going to start noticing a pattern that if you're trying to break down a run, pieces are your friend. So the first note is I. So try that for me. I. Try those two together. I. All right. Did you get those three? I. All right. Good. Let's add another note. I. Did you get it? Okay. Let's try that again. Did you get it? Now the key here, if any of the notes are sliding in pitch or a little hard, you want to have a neutral onset on these right now. So an onset is the way that you're starting the note. So if the note starts really hard, right there, that's a very hard onset. A very soft onset would be okay? So you'll notice that two things are happening. With the really extremely hard onset, you'll notice that the run is choppy and doesn't sound as musical or melodic. It sounds a little bit more, and the proper term is staccato. It's broken up. But if you want it to be a true melisma, quote unquote, which is the technical term for vocal runs, the agility needs to be in a more neutral spot. If you have it sliding too much, meaning that really super soft onset I talked to you about just a second ago, you'll notice that the notes start bending together. There's a solution for either one of those problems. If it's sliding, then this is what I want you to do. I want you to focus on the first and fourth note right now and changing your attack, or quote unquote onset, to a harder onset. So I want you to start that top note like this. Okay, rather than okay? So try this a couple times like All right, try that for me. Don't worry about the rest of the notes yet. Just start with a harder onset and see if you'll notice that the rest of the notes are going to be a little less slidey and bendy. And then also add it on that fourth note. Right? Okay? So if that happens and you're starting to get more clarity on your notes, good job. Now, if you're having the opposite end of the problem, meaning that you feel like you're getting stuck a little bit and you can't move because your onset is too hard, meaning you're like you're slow, you're not able to keep up the pace because you're stuck in that hard onset, then you're going to do the opposite thing and you're going to start softening your onset by putting an H in front of the vowel. Hi. Try that for me. Like you're saying hi. Hi. All right. Now, over time, you'll start noticing that you're able to move a little bit quicker now because you're not being held up too much with that really hard attack on each note. Okay, so just changing that first note and the way you start actually prepares your voice for how you're going to finish. And if you notice that there's a note in particular sticking out more than the rest, then that's the note of focus to change that attack or onset. So the more you know. All right, so let's finish this run. I. Are you able to get clarity on all of your notes there? If you are, then honey, yes, you are on your way. I'm already proud of you, okay? I'm reaching through the screen. Shoes are getting thrown, okay? And I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, why are we celebrating this win right now? I'm not doing it at speed yet. Because it's important for you to celebrate every bit of clarity you're getting on the run. I'd rather you be able to sing the run slower and accurately than super fast and messy, okay? So once you just got that at that speed, we can speed it back up. My eye. All right, and then you could try that a couple times. My eye. All right, one more time. My eye. All right. There's another problem you may run into, and that's that your vibrato is taking the pitches all over the place in places that you were not intending. And it could also trip you up with the onset a little bit if the vibrato is getting too wild and all over the place. So one of the things you may notice is if the vibrato is at every note, that the pitch accuracy suffers a little bit. When it comes to speed and agility in R&B riffs, it's really helpful to be intentional about where you place your vibrato so that the run can sound clean. So a good place or habit, actually, whether you're singing a riff or run like Summer Walker or any other artist, is to save your vibrato for the end of your run. And only if you're holding a note for a long time. It could be helpful. Even if you're holding the note at the beginning a little bit longer, it's okay to have a little vibrato. Just be careful because you got to move quickly to the next note afterwards. For example, in this riff, I don't know if you noticed, but when I do it, I'm saving my vibrato for the end. The beginning, the beginning of all of these notes are very straight toned, meaning I'm not adding vibrato at all. And then at the end, it's allowing it to flow. So being able to place your vibrato in the right spot is super helpful too. All right, so we just learned the tricks that Summer Walker likes to use for her riffs and runs, and that is using trills to add interest to her runs, even if they're short and sweet. And then she also likes to play around a little bit with her onset so that she has a neutral onset as she is moving between notes, especially when they are longer riffs like that last one we just did. If you're interested in learning how to develop your voice even more and want to dive even deeper in how to do vocal trills and vocal runs and things of that nature, go ahead and check out my website, indieartistschool.com. I have one-on-one vocal coaching, and I also have an online course called the R&B Singers Arsenal. I also have a habit tracker called the Singer's Journal, which is a way for you to track your progress along the way, which is now available on Amazon. I'm going to leave the links to all of this below. But yes, I want to know what your favorite Summer Walker track is, okay? Well, you guys, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and happy singing.